Hello and welcome. In this video we will show you connection schema and device configuration for driver registration. Here we will configure the device to accept only authorized iButton IDs in order to block or unblock engine, thereby allowing only authorized drivers added onto authorized list to start the vehicle. This is how the iButton reader, blocking relay and buzzer should be connected. In case if your reader only has 2 wires, then please change only the iButton reader connections to match this schema. We will open the device center and click on the advanced mode. We will choose the target device. For this example, we will choose HCV5. We will select the protocol as TCP and enter the IP and port details. Enter APN name and you can leave username and password empty if it are not required. We will then choose basic settings like ignition detection source as digital input 4. Time with engine is the time period at which records will be sent when ignition is on, and time without engine is the when ignition is off. Next is to enable the parameters that needs to be sent with records. Click on options under I/O events section and enable common I/O. This will enable the common parameters that the device would send to the server. These were common settings required for almost all configurations. For driver registration we will need to use digital outputs. On the bottom right corner, you will see the digital outputs. We will set DOUT1 as blocking to connect the relay and DOUT2 as buzzer to connect the buzzer. We will then enable the iButton ID to be sent to the server. For this we will go to ID and select a disabled slot and choose iButton driver ID from the drop-down. We will set the event on to change, priority as high and click enable. This is to ensure that as soon as there is change in the iButton driver ID parameter it would be sent as high priority to the server. We will now go to Live I/O tool to see the enabled I/O parameters, and when you present an iButton ID onto the reader you shall see value on iButton driver ID parameter like this. You can copy this ID one by one to an Excel sheet or write it down. Other way to find the iButton ID is by looking at the iButton key itself. Enable the authorized ID lists and click options. This list holds hex values of the iButton IDs. When an iButton is read by a reader, device match the read iButton ID with that of the IDs added onto this list and determines whether the ID is authorized. If you are using one wire RFID, ensure to click on the check box. Since we are using iButton reader we will not check this box. When using iButton reader there is a specific way you need to enter the data into the authorized ID list, which is as shown. As per the example you shall see the value we got on Live I/O data converted in this image. Enter the value into the authorized IDs list. Click on driver registration. Our aim is to unblock engine only when an authorized iButton ID is presented. Therefore we will choose blocking as registration mode, choose the tick box blocking and buzzer. Choose source as iButton. Check the box buzzer/LED alarm when the engine is blocked to keep the buzzer beeping when the engine is blocked, and ignition key is at on position. Deregistration timeout allows driver to start vehicle without registering again for the specified time period. Buzzer/LED duration is basically how long the buzzer sound would stay on before going off. You can set alert duration for any seconds. This means the buzzer would keep alerting for that particular time period and would go off. If you set it to 0, it would mean buzzer will keep alerting until a driver ID is presented on the iButton reader. Check the only authorized ID box in order to prevent authorization using other iButton IDs that are not in the authorized IDs list. This setting is good for both Dallas iButton IDs and one-wire RFID readers. Thank you for your time.